Hi everyone, my name's Ryan Chynces and I'm with the Hootsuite Academy team. In this short video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I use Facebook in my personal life. And I also want to tell you a bit about some of the insights that I've gathered from social media managers and strategists over the years on how they use Facebook in their personal lives as well. I think like a lot of people, I use Facebook to stay in touch with friends, maybe friendly acquaintances, and definitely family members. Anyone that's on there are people that I've met and that I have a relationship with. My private account has a very safe space feel to it, and so I'm a little more comfortable with the sorts of things that I post on that account. I personally don't use Facebook as a network for gaining visibility or getting more exposure for my personal brand. I think there's better networks that are suited for that. In fact, I don't use my real name or even my face in my profile picture, just to keep things confidential and focused on people who are close to me and who I want to kind of keep in my inner circle. I find that a lot of the content I post is photos that I've taken. What I like about Facebook is actually its album functionality. And I think this is actually a hidden gem on the Facebook platform, the ability to organize your photos, especially if you have a large amount of photos, into lots of different albums. So I organize mine by different times of year, and it's a great way to go back and look at different time periods of my life over the past 10, 15 years. When it comes to sharing photos on Facebook, one best practice I always adhere to is to ask people before I tag them. And the reason is that it's a best practice to let people be in control of their own image. So by asking if it's okay for you to tag them, you're putting the control of their image back in their hands as opposed to you making that decision for them. Another point I want to make is that you can change your settings so that you have to approve any photos that you are tagged in. Facebook's also my go-to network for sharing personal milestones or professional advancements. Other things that I share in my Facebook profile are interesting articles, news stories, science articles that I've come across. I usually take the time to come up with some interesting interpretation or synthesis of what I've read, as opposed to just finding stuff and just sharing it. Other content I like to share is, of course, funny stuff. If I come across something on Facebook that makes me laugh, the chances are I am going to be sharing it with my network. When it comes to sharing content on Facebook, I want to emphasize a really important point. Take the time to review Facebook's privacy settings and do it on desktop specifically. Take 10-15 minutes and really review all the different options that are available to you. And there's a lot. I think you'd be surprised if you haven't done this before, just how much information you're potentially giving away. And it's best to be intentional about the information that is being shared with the wider world. You should be in control of what's being shared outside of your friend network. So make a point of going through all the settings and just making sure that you're comfortable with everything that you see there. Once you're all done optimizing your settings so they're consistent with what you want to share, there's a setting where you can look at your public timeline. And I really encourage you to do this because this will show you what other people are seeing when they land on your page. And it'll show you exactly the information that you're making available to the wider world outside of your immediate friend network. So probably my top tip for interacting with people inside or outside of my friend network on Facebook is to give people the benefit of the doubt. And this is especially true if you're having an exchange about maybe an issue that's contentious. If someone replies to you and maybe it's terse, maybe it's snarky, maybe it's not exactly clear, apply the principle of charity and try and give what the other person is saying the best, most charitable possible reading. And if it's unclear what they're saying, ask a question of clarification. In my experience, I've found that if you stop and ask a question about what the other person means to make sure that you're understanding them correctly, it adds an element of civility into the conversation, more so than just kind of reacting to what you think that they meant. My next bit of advice for interacting and engaging on Facebook is to expect 15 minutes of fame unexpectedly. By that I mean, when you comment on news stories or other posts on Facebook, there is a possibility that your comment will get way more traction than you were expecting. It's entirely possible that that snarky political comment that you put on before you went to bed last night, you wake up and it's got 3,000 comments or 3,000 reactions or more. This has happened to me in the past, and it's just something that you have to be prepared for if you're using the Facebook platform. So my advice is, if you're gonna leave a comment, do a quick gut check. Do a quick thought experiment. Ask yourself, if I woke up tomorrow morning and that comment got 3,000 angry reactions, would I take it down? If the answer is yes, if you'd back off of that comment, it might not be the best thing to post. Be cautious with what you're publishing on Facebook and be prepared to expect the unexpected. And finally, if you are going to go viral accidentally, make it for something that you're proud of, not for something you're gonna regret.